Fellow countrymen, I have given you my opinion in several letters on the present measure of reform. That measure, if carried into effect, will do you incalculable harm. As soon as the land stealers, merchants, manufacturers and tradesmen acquire the privilege of lawmaking, they begin to legislate for their own individual interest. That is, to increase their rents and profits, by which they deprive you of the produce of your industry. And in proportion as their influence in lawmaking is increased, and so likewise is your poverty increased. Will you believe now that you have any interest in the passing of this bill? You will be starved to death by thousands if this bill pass, and thrown onto the dunghill, or onto the ground naked like dogs. Of all the bills or plots that ever was proposed on earth, this is the most deceptive and the most mischievous. This bill proposes to extend the number of electors to about 5 times the present amount. This, on the face of the measure, appears at first sight a most liberal alteration. But now, when we come to see the liberality is all on one side and none on the other, when we come to see that those whose influence is already tenfold too great are to have that influence tenfold increased, while you, whose influence is already tenfold too little, are to have that influence incalculably diminished, it is the most illiberal, the most tyrannical, the most abominable measure that ever could or can be proposed. Your number is 4/5 of the whole population. Your influence, therefore, at elections, in addition to your right of being elected yourselves, ought to be 4 times as great as all the rest of the community. Yet your influence will not be more than 1/20th part of that which will be exercised by those who live on the fruits of your labour. You will in reality, therefore, from fear and fewness of number, have no influence at all.